Now, Dante took Augustus, right? So that you have the inner, you have the love, right? Aquinas added reason. And what Dante added to the equation was imagination. Okay? So he's not a theologian. He is an artist. And so you can say that Augustine pretty much allowed us to look within, right? There's love. So in order to get closer to God, we have to find love, right? So we have to look within. Aquinas says, okay, now, yes, that's love, but if I reason, right, I can find love in many different things, right? But then what Dante is saying that it's not only those two, it's your imagination. How can we experience God? Right. All right, you got it? Yep. All right, let's jump into it. Yeah. All right, everybody. So, can you do me a favor? Can you just look at the camera and make sure I'm not cut off?
Mm-hmm. You're good height-wise. You're standing right there. You're a little cut off. So
Okay.
I might have to scoot in, or I can shift it this way a little bit.
Let me just scoot over it. Okay. How's that? Is that better?
Better. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's jump into it.
Starting reading at Canto 1.
Yeah, so I'm gonna close you up. I'm prepping you up. All right, so welcome everybody. This is my first class on the Divine Comedy. I just want to preface this that everybody's thoughts, beliefs, all that is welcome. Okay, it's all respected. This is not to convert you. This is not to say make you think any other way. This is really to tap into your soul, right? This work has changed my life in many ways, and I really believe that if we read the Divine Comedy by Dante, it will change the world. But you have to let go of a couple things. All right, you have to understand that your logic and your reasoning is only going to take you so far as your faith. Okay, so just hearing that, just go ahead. Just what do you think about that?
You're saying your logic and your reasoning
Can only take you so much as far as your faith. So what does that mean to you?
Good question. I think that faith answers the questions that logic and reasoning can't.
Exactly. And that is all welcome here, okay? And so I want you to understand that this is supposed to be a space for debate. Please challenge me. Please ask questions, all right? And then just also know, like, we're all learning. And this is also my interpretation. So one thing I love about Dante is that what he did was he took, so if we go, so he took Augustine of Hippo. So Augustine is essentially he's a theologian, and essentially what he did was he teaches us to look inward. He asked the fundamental question: why do we truly love? During this time, before during the Catholic Church time, it was a lot of war going on. It was a lot of turmoil, specifically between like the nobles, and he was questioning like where does that come from, right? And he said essentially it comes from the heart. And it's not that there's good or bad people, it's just whatever you love. So your heart dictates your will, right? And that there's two types of love. There's orderly love and there's disorderly love. And that people are not evil or say bad, is that they're loving something more than, their love is in a different direction, okay? So one concept is love. And so we got disorder love and order love. Now, he's really awesome, right? Because one thing that he did, this is actually like kind of during the Dark Ages, that he pretty much said that in order for us to get God's mercy, to be able to get into heaven, we have to obey. It has to be like a sense of obedience, right? And so essentially, I guess just hearing that, right? If I am in the Dark Ages, right, and someone's telling me that I have to obey with love, how do you think that environment is like? I'm scared to sin. I'm scared to step out of bounds. Just love. How do you think that created or made people?
You're saying, just so I can understand, you're saying, how did his idea of like there must be obedience shape the environment?
And the love of God. So you're just loving God, but you're not stepping into your humanity. It's just strictly love and obedience. How do you think that changed society?
Probably could have made it stiff.
Tell me more.
Like, kind of creating like either you're in or out. There's like only a two-sided, you call it like bilateral. There's a binary system, like either you're in or out based on how you approach these two things.
Absolutely, right.
Probably more than that.
Exactly. No, that's precisely it, right? I'm scared to sin. I'm scared, and if I sin, I'm going where?
Yeah.
To hell, right? And so pretty much these people they're scared to be humans, right? They're scared to wonder, and all they're doing is the obedience to, the Savior that they said, right? And then this is the church, right? And so the church has a lot of power, but what Augustine is trying to do is he's trying to let people go back into inside and really focus on that, right? Then comes Thomas Aquinas, right? So Thomas Aquinas says, okay, yes, you need love, right? But you also the beauty about humans is that we question, right? We wonder, and pretty much he took reason and he added to that love equation. So instead of it just being love of God, you can reason with God. So I guess to kind of like to make it more simple is that there are different ways of finding God. Right? And through reason, right, we can find God not only in the church, but we can find God in the sun. We can find God in the trees. We can find God because God created everything. Then if that inspiration I got from that, say, pet or say that tree or say that divine, intervention, that can also bring me closer to, what is the greatest question that humans always ask?
Is there more? Who's there?
Right, exactly, right. And it doesn't always have to be through what we usually call through the church, right? And so because of that, Thomas Aquinas, we had so many revolutionaries. So the Enlightenment area, we have science, history, politics, all these different branches, education. All these things started branching out because not only humans were loving, that they were trying to figure out through their reason. Okay, all right. Now, that brings us to Dante, okay? So Dante, and I'll just read it. So, Thomas Aquinas built on Augustine by asking, how does faith and reason work together? He argued that reason is a gift from God, and the truth can be discovered through philosophy, science, ethics, theology. Rather than opposing faith and reason, Aquinas shows how they complement one another in the pursuit of truth and human flourishing. Now, Dante took Augustus, right? So that you have the inner, you have the love, right? Aquinas added reason, and what Dante added to the equation was imagination. Okay, so he's not a theologian; he is an artist, and so you can say that Augustine pretty much allowed us to look within. Right, there's love. So in order to get closer to God, we have to find love. Right, so we have to look within. Aquinas says, okay, now yes, that's love, but if I reason, right, I can find love in many different things, right? But then what Dante is saying that it's not only those two; it's your imagination. How can we experience God? Right? So reason is thinking about God. God is within us, right? Augustine. Dante is saying, I'm going to put you through it so you can experience hell, so you can experience purgatory, so you can experience heaven. And that is going to allow you to essentially ask, like do soul work, right? So I guess just hearing that, just give me some. What are your thoughts so far?
A lot, man. I think it's interesting these things kind of being brought to the forefront. I would agree with a lot of things kind of these people said. I think that the way people experience God is not always the same. The way people experience love is not always the same. But I do think even some of the personification that the Bible uses, because my worldview is Christian, right? But even the way that the Bible paints pictures,
Yeah.
if you're not able to either relate or put yourself in that position to like maybe feel right, or even like, hey, I might have felt this way.
You could be
probably
disconnected.
won't, yeah, you probably won't experience God in that way. Right?
Absolutely.
But you do have to have a sense of imagination to be like, okay, like if I'm not right here, like I could have been here or I could have been here. So in comes the, okay, I'm grateful because I'm not here. But without imagination, you can't do that. So
Exactly.